Okay, so meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have Games Ponies Play, the episode about what the main characters did when they went to the Crystal Empire, while Spike was at home watching the pets and trying to bake a jewel cake. And yeah, I don't think actually I pointed out last time too, because this one starts out when they're splitting up, everyone's saying goodbye and heading to the train, and Spike whips out his cookbook, says he's got something important to get to. Twilight's like, yeah, like watching all of the pets. It was, yeah, just realized I didn't point out in the last one that he waited until everyone showed up with their pets to start baking the cake. He had all six jewels. He had who knows how much time before that. I think it might have been even been the day before he got them. I don't know, but yeah, they found a lot of ways in that episode to make sure he didn't finish his cake before something had a way to interrupt him. But anyway, though, so yeah, it turns out they went to the Crystal Empire so they could help welcome the pony who's going to be judging them to see if they're after they're back after 1,000 years. So this pony named Miss Harshwinny has been sent to determine if the Crystal Empire might be the spot to host the Equestria Games, which some big sporting event, I guess. All the towns, I don't know if they're going for like the Olympics there or something, but yeah, the one town is picked to host the Equestria Games, and the ponies have come to make sure that the Crystal Empire, which I guess is a big finalist, is going to get the position. And yeah, Rainbow Dash in particular is really invested in this because her hometown of Cloudsdale was almost won the honor one year, but they didn't. She was devastated, so she decides that she's going to exercise her demons there by helping the Crystal Empire win, because, I guess after the amount of trouble they had, she does not want to see them undergo the disappointment. So I guess you could argue this episode is about her, but that only kind of pushes her to the foreground a couple of times. Otherwise, she's just sort of in line with everyone else. I mean, you could argue that it's her episode. You could argue that it's about her and Twilight, who's in charge of all this, and also in the foreground a few times. You could argue that it's just about everyone. There's not really supposed to be a spotlight. But anyway, though, so yeah, they get there. They meet up with Cadence, who's big, what put through the ringer, I guess, preparing. But yeah, she's in the middle of trying to get this special hairdo to meet the inspector, because I guess the Crystal Empire, they have a tradition with hairdos. So there's a subplot that it's used, I guess, to up the ticking clock or whatever. But yeah, this is complicated, and whoever was supposed to do it for her gets sick at the last minute, and the inspector, whose name is Miss Harshwinny, just so we know that she's supposed to be tough on these towns, and apparently, yeah, that's her reputation. She's going to really put them through the ringer to see if they're the town to host the games. And so, yeah, she shows up early. Giddens's hairdresser gets sick, so Rarity has to help her with that. So she gets her own subplot there. I guess they figured they didn't need everybody in the same place trying to meet the inspector. But okay, so yeah, the inspector arrives early. The other five go to meet her. They're told to look for the pony with the flower luggage, and they meet this pony. The one they find with flower suitcase is not mean at all, despite what the reputation says. She's really enthusiastic that somebody sent her a welcome, and yeah, she's this, I guess, very energetic sort of country gal. But anyway, though, which of course means they've got the wrong pony. They leave the station. The train pulls away, and the only one left is another pony with a flower suitcase who does not look friendly at all. So yeah, that's where this is going. And okay, so they give the country gal the tour. She really appreciates it, although she's claustrophobic. So yeah, the more they tour the castle and stuff, the more she wants to be outside. And then that payoff to that, when they finally make it to the track where Shining Armor is coaching the athletes who I guess are going to do the Equestria Games or be in it, yeah, she breaks loose with a vengeance, and yeah, and after they catch her, she inadvertently reveals that she's not Miss Harshwinny. So Okay, so, alright, they have to find Miss Harshwinny before she runs into Princess Cadence, but, of course it ends with all of them at the spa where Cadence is getting ready, and, yeah, the big confrontation then happens, and, well, yeah, basically this is, another well-worn plot. We've seen the show, use these before to, and usually they're pretty good at, I guess, finding the meat of it, thinking, okay, what would our characters in all three dimensions actually do in this scenario? But yeah, sometimes it depends on the right plot, of course. And this is one, the average Joe mistaken for somebody who important who is their exact opposite. Should give a name to that plot and call it the Inspector General plot or Prince and the Pauper or something like that. But anyway, that's one I don't really remember having very strong feelings on. I mean, I guess it can be kind of fun if it's used to explore the comedy or just the exotic chain of events that can spawn from this kind of scenario. But yeah, in this case, it's used more for to explore how it can be really awkward and inconvenient, and well, not only is that just kind of a drag, but it's like, yeah, it could have been avoided just by clarifying that are you Miss Harshwinny? The first question when you meet her, that yeah, she never had to give her name once and all that. But anyway, though, so yeah, the minute yeah, you see the actual Miss Harshwinny at the station, I forget when I realized that yeah, where they were going with this exactly, but anyway, yeah, they take the wrong pony. The angry Miss Harshwinny's at the station, like looking around for where her reception is, and I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna be another painful one, isn't it? And I mean, yeah, it's just like the whole time they're giving the welcome cheers to this just perfectly nice vacationer who I guess or actually she says a few times that she's a traveler, so seen towns a lot before herself, well, that pays off later. But yeah, it's like they're building her up the whole time and saying all this nice stuff to her, like, oh, the princess is so looking forward to your arrival, and just okay, so yeah, I'm gonna of course have to reveal that yeah, nobody actually cares about her. It was for someone totally different, and then yeah, this mean pony who got snubbed the welcome. Yeah, they're gonna have to face her, and I mean, it's just yeah, building it up the whole time, and okay, and not just even setting it on the table. I mean, they're like actively they cut to the actual Miss Harshwinny a few times. I don't even know, but Miss, I'm pretty sure, but it was probably deliberate. Anyway, yeah, they cut to Miss Harshwinny being walking down the street trying to pull her heavy suitcase by herself and getting splashed by carts and stuff running by, and yeah, running into Twilight once, who gives her a hello. So it's the first one all day, and I mean, just so yeah, making sure that we're not looking forward to the climax of all this, and okay, yeah. Meanwhile, it's also kind of uncomfortable with this the nice pony who yes, keeps going on about how her legs are cramping up. She wishes she could just go for this run, and they think it's a test or something. Just like, what would you do if somebody tried to change the subject? And they so yeah, they just keep kind of gently insisting on the tour, and yeah, and even trying to extend it when Cadence isn't ready because the hairdo with Rarity has to go wrong. So um, um, yeah, showing her more rooms, trying to fake their way through knowing anything about it until Pinkie Pie resorts to jumping up and down and making faces, and I don't know, that was just like so shamelessly random. I mean, that was either the dumbest gag in the whole episode or one of the funniest. I still can't decide, but okay, well, that aside, yeah, they're just dragging her through all of this stuff, and then they're gonna have, I mean, the awkward moment where they have to realize that that was totally for nothing, and just yeah, this whole time it's kind of uncomfortable to watch. I mean, it's an uncomfortable sort of episode, knowing just how wrong this is going and and what's gonna have to happen, and then yeah, they all run into each other at the spa. They go there first to make sure Miss Harshwini isn't there, and of course she is. So talking to the vacation pony, who's they're both getting massages, and vacation pony's telling her all about the welcome she received, and so yeah, Cadence uh, accidentally reveals herself a split second before the others can intervene, and then Miss Harshwini confronts her, and yeah, Gina's all right. Now it's time to start pulling teeth, and then yeah, Rainbow Dash. She starts. She gives the confession about how she was trying to make sure they did everything, insisting on, I guess, going through the motions with the wrong pony. So yeah, she apologizes. She says, yeah, I guess I wanted it to happen so bad, and I guess I ruined it for the Crystal Empire instead. And yeah, then the vacation pony intervenes. Not so fast there, Speedy. And Miss Harshwini, who I guess has made friends with her in the past however many minutes, says to her with her hoity-toity British accent, so you know she's a snob. She's like, in fact, this pony just finished telling me that she was given the warmest, funnest, and best reception she ever received in the history of her travels, which, in my expert opinion, amounts to the first unbiased vote of approval that has ever been given in the history of the Equestria Games. Which means total Deus Ex Machina. I mean, I don't know. I guess the vacation pony, she's a traveler, whatever they said, so her vote counts for something. But yeah, Miss Harshwini doesn't even want to check herself. Doesn't want to be mad about, not getting the reception, being run through puddles and stuff instead. Yeah, she gives them the award, or she lets them host the games, and yeah, I'm just like watching that, like, that was like nothing whatsoever. I mean, just ran us through all that for nothing, so you could just say, no, it wasn't a problem? I mean, no, even the difficult payoff is better than no payoff episode. You get back here and pull my teeth. But, I mean, yeah, I guess that, well, it's like, you're not looking forward to the ending there or to how awkward it's probably going to be, but, I mean, it's already been kind of awkward. It's like we have some demons to exercise here, but, yeah, now it's just like, it was awkward and it was all for nothing. I mean, it was like, actually, you know what, is a good comparison there to the bit where they're taking Vacation Pony through the Crystal Castle, and she keeps going on the whole time about how she's cramping up, and it's kind of awkward because, yeah, they're forcing her through it the whole time. I mean, and yeah, you feel the uncomfortable energy building up even. They do a good job, like, with the visuals and the sound cues, convincing you that she's, uncomfortable. Yeah, she's claustrophobic and all that. And so, yeah, they do actually, get her to the track at one point almost without even intending to. And I mean, the equivalent of what they did at the end would have been having her just like, I don't know, jog over to Shining Armor, say hi, jog back, and then be like, alright, I feel better now, we can continue. By the way, I'm not Miss Harshwini, or something like that. But I mean, no, instead it's like you get the actual payoff to that, and I mean, it was shaping, it could have been very awkward, but instead they found like the right way to, exactly the right way to give us the payoff there. She just like breaks loose with a vengeance and starts galloping around the track and outrunning all of the athletes and smashing through stuff, and the whole time just like, yeah, like screaming really like, yes, I'm outside, and just, yeah, and then it like turns into this hilarious chase scene too. She accidentally gets a pot stuck on her head, and then bolts for it, starts running blindly through town, like, because yeah, she's afraid of enclosed areas, and a pot on her head counts, so Rainbow Dash has to take off after her, and then, yeah, just manages to catch her, and then she stops when she feels somebody grab the pot on her head, and then she slingshots Rainbow Dash into the window, the roof of the spa, the glass dome roof that Rarity's working on. You just get this kind of really perfect visual cue. Rainbow Dash smashes into the window like she's working in the jungle or something, and Rarity looks up like she thinks she heard something, looks around, and then, yeah, doesn't notice Rainbow Dash sliding down the glass behind her. I mean, that was one of just like the, I don't know, perfect moments this episode managed to get. But I mean, okay, so yeah, that was a payoff that amounted to something too, where, okay, it was like, yeah, they, all this the whole time, they had to suffer the consequences for keeping her cramped up, but I mean, it wasn't like devastating, it was kind of funny. I mean, it just caused some property damage, but yeah, it was funny. It was you kind of with the vacation pony who never gets a name, just like with her sheer relief and everything. Like it's kind of fun to watch and all that, and it ends with the really funny chase scene. So I mean, okay, yeah, see, that's a payoff, and they found a way to make it, to make all of that awkwardness before for something that amount to something instead of just dropping it. So I mean, so yeah, the plot of this episode just really didn't amount to much. I mean, yeah, the plot itself didn't really bring anything, I don't know, full circle or yeah, get plot itself wasn't good for much. It was only really, I guess, a clothesline to hang some amusing moments on, and yeah, so there are some reasons to show up, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, let me see, the cheer they do at the beginning, like they have a welcoming cheer planned for the celebrating the, well, what is it, like a cheer for the Crystal Empire plan to show the inspector, and then yeah, they're practicing it on the train, and then Twilight was just never good enough for her. Yeah, she insists on getting up and actually performing it too, and of course that's right before the train comes to a stop and throws them across the room. And I mean, okay, that doesn't sound like much, but then yeah, the inspector peeks in and we see what's become of the main characters. They're all splayed out across the room, and like just not the funniest way they could be. Like, Applejack, Pinkie Pie is on top of Applejack backwards, so like Applejack is brushing Pinkie's legs out of her face. Like, yeah, maybe we should have watched our step, like he said, huh? Or yeah, Fluttershy smashed into the wall, just like, yeah, that was pretty funny. Amusing moments. Pinkie Pie, I think overall had a pretty high batting average in her comedy, but yeah, this episode, it's sort of an over the top kind of episode in its delivery of that. So I mean, plot's not the only thing awkward. There's stuff like Twilight is giving them the pep talks. We're not going to let the inspector down, right? And Pinkie Pie does the dramatic slide on her knees and goes, no, and then I think that was because Rainbow Dash did it in her flashback a second before. But anyway, they all look at her. She's like, "What? I was just answering Twilight's question." So explain the already obvious joke again. But then later on, they do a follow-up gag to that actually is pretty funny. We got the wrong pony? No! I mean, yes! Which, okay, yeah. The funny part is not watching me do it, but yeah, it was a pretty good gag. And, okay, so, there's that. There's, let's see, the vacation pony. She actually gets a pretty strong, likable personality. It's that she's enjoying this, tour so much that it's almost a shame that it wasn't meant for her. She's just cheering them on and everything. She's really energetic, really off the wall. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, for just character they didn't even bother to name. That was effort there. But okay, so that was pretty good. I mean, but yeah, they're all just, like I said, little moments to hang on this plot that, like I said, that would amount to I guess just an average sort of a story in a lesser show, and then in this one it's a below average one, and so yeah, I guess it's a little better than like Owl's Well That Ends Well, which I think was the gem so far, the lowest vote I could have given it that was still a vote of approval is I think what I said, but something along that line. And I guess this is a little better than that, but yeah, it's about the most amusing thing I can say about it. Just some good moments in a plot that really is uncomfortable and doesn't amount to much. So I mean, just I mean, I guess it's maybe worth sitting through once, but just nothing that great. So yeah, who'd have thought the characters that stayed home would end up having a better time or a better adventure anyway, a better episode. But okay, so that's pretty much all I was going to say about it. But So, in the next episode, we're reach the big finale is Magical Mystery Cure. So, okay, it all comes down to this. Season's pretty much split right down the middle now. We're close to it, so all hinges on the finale. Come back for that.